Hey everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. Just wanted to show you a very quick highlight of using Matlab 2014A, trying to work with the Simulink. This is one of the older coding projects that I've got in my membership. It has been upgraded to this. So that SLX file versus the MDL file, this is the original from, I believe it's 2000 and, I'm not even sure, but we'll just leave it, it's a version before 2014A, probably 2011A actually, so it's kind of old. Now the difference between MATLAB 2014A, B, and now 15 is night and day versus 2011. So I'm going to try to give you a quick brush over of the Simulink and what you're up against when you do convert. So this is the original little model. It doesn't do anything really. It just has two inputs. Has a what do you call that? Mutex, or I can't remember what to call this thing. Sorry. I guess it's a sum of some kind. And then it just does a unit delay, I guess, whatever that is. It's quite a lot to still revisit here within MATLAB. And then there's an output. So these are two separate constants fed into this block. It does this sum, and then it does another, I guess, unit delay. I think it's probably like a loop, and it just continues running. It does run. All it's going to do is beep. But a couple of new things in MATLAB. First is this validator. Hope it doesn't run. Oh, yeah, it's going to run. The other thing I'll show you is the build for Cogeneration. So let me get you that. So I haven't really set it up properly, but this is the final output. You will get various C files. You will get your header and all these fun stuff. So it does convert this model, the visual model, and anything that you can put onto this canvas in Simulink. And I've run so many powerful videos, or sorry, demos and examples. You can do some very, very powerful and cool things with Simulink. That's the new current version of Simulink, or at least a year ago. So it's very cool, and you can co-generate it into C by this powerful little button. So let's take a look at so this is the code that gets generated. I'm going to show you some of the options that you can view. Some pretty powerful stuff. Now the beautiful thing about MATLAB is the ability to pretty well run on any platform, meaning Linux, Mac, Windows. Now, because it's generated in C, you have many options. And they've really enhanced this. I think they've obviously seen the value of this. It's probably one of the more expensive options within MATLAB, the whole set of tools, the toolboxes that they have. So let's see if my options come up. Yeah, here we go. All right, so this is the C options. Now, I haven't really played with it a whole lot, but you can build Visual Studio projects with it. Usually, I've run into all kinds of problems with generate code only. I'll probably do another version, and you can just generate code, and then I've got a workflow that you can use to create your own DLL with it, and plug that into a C# or any .NET package, or any .NET project, be it any .NET language, including obviously C++, C#. So here are the different options that you get with C++ and C. So let's just assume we want C++. I would prefer C, it's just simpler. Now the report, this is the very cool part. So let's say if you want to be able to get your objects, actually I'll do this right now, but I'll just explain what these are. So let's say in your Cogeneration, in your report, I've talked about this before, and my community is a lot bigger now, so I might as well revisit it. So in these comments here that you get, what you can get is the ability to trace back your Simulink blocks, these guys here. If there was a state flow chart, you could trace that back as well as you could trace back all the way back to your Matlab functions. So when you generate your Matlab M scripts, you can trace those and include those as part of the comments in the final C code or C++ code. That's pretty powerful. There's other options here as well. I just go for everything. I like comments. At the beginning especially. Wow, you got a lot more, and it was. I'll just go full tilt here. Why not? And go crazy. Symbols. Let's see here. I'm just trying to look for anything that's fun. You can target different compilers that are embedded within your Matlab environment. It's pretty cool. You got so much set of options here, as you can see. I haven't really played with C in many years, to be honest, but that is the preferred language. Obviously, if you prefer to go, let's say HFT, you can generate a self-running systematic trading model from this model as you run it. It's pretty powerful. Let's see what other options you have. Now, I know you as you can see, you have lots of ability to you can also, I've been looking for a minimal coding option here. It doesn't matter. And the other big powerful thing is that if you wanted to create your own HDL code, well, you can do it as well. HDL is FPGA code. So the nice thing about this visual model, you can turn that into HDL code as well. So now I'm no expert on it. Let me just pull up the options and here. So we've talked about the C++ or C. So in this case, we can go VHDL or Verilog. It's supposed to be tight code. It does get better and better each and every minute or each version. So you could convert for Altera or for the Xilinx boards and the native code for those boards for FPGA. The new Simulink, or sorry, Matlab 2015A does include synthesis as well. So now you have 100% capabilities to burn and synthesize all this model. I keep going back to it. You can take that, whatever trading model you come up with, and be able to synthesize it onto an FPGA board, which obviously can be used for talk to anybody, ultra lowest latency. It's FPGA. It's complicated, but that option exists with this ability with the HDL hardware description language. As I said, I'm no expert in it, but you can. I got somebody who's specializing in that. So I'll do enough blabbing. I'll do another generation or Cogeneration, but for Visual Studio, and see what comes up with an executable and see what comes out of it. Talk to you in a bit. Hey, forgot to mention about this set of advisor, which is fairly new, and I don't know when they've added this, but this is definitely in the Matlab 2014A. There's 3 advisors here. There's the upgrade advisor, the run selected checks, so they'll run through all of these. Some of them you can individually run. I don't know, let me just run, well, it'll run them all. There's also the Cogeneration Advisor. I guess it just probably forewarns you on some of the ways to improve cogeneration. And on top of that, there was also that performance analysis. So just wanted to let you know about that. So here you can run different types of testing, polyspace, tracing, and so on and so forth. But I'm not going to do that, but I just wanted to let you know about that before I forgot to do that segment. Hey everybody, Brian here again. Okay, let me take you into a continuation story of Matlab, our famous model. Okay, so I want everybody to see this. I have upgraded to Matlab 2014B. Previous video segments I was showing you was with release 2014A. So seems to be some positive outcomes. Here we are in that model I showed in the previous video segments. This is really cool because it's now a lot easier than what I used to show before. So when you come under C or C++ code generation options, there's a couple of things that I've noticed. There's two targets, compiler targets for this process of the cogeneration. There's the ERT for solution for embedded coder, and then there's also this other one for GRT. Now, I believe one's for the embedded coder and one's for the real-time target. I'm going to show you what happened when I tried the GRT. Okay, so this is the current posting I just put up. Now, one thing I want people to realize is that, as I said, I was able to get it working with the ERT compiler target option. Just mentioned that. But the one with the GRT doesn't work. There's all these errors that you may get, access denied. I looked it up, I found these two links. It has something to do with the COM, your settings in the compiler for Visual Studio. Matlab has to have access with administrator rights and blah blah blah. It just became an ugly mess, so I just kind of gave up before I even attempted on it. But the funny thing is, where's my Matlab? Yeah, with those options, I was able to get the ERT working, ERT TLC. So that seems to work quite dandy, okay? So from there, oh, we don't want that one. We want C++ cogeneration option. So what we want to be able to do is, as I always used to do, is just do a generate code only. I don't need to do that anymore. Just go build. What will happen is my diagnostic viewer, this is the first time I'm actually seeing this, is it does build. You do get the same error, but when you look at the project from here, there's going to be two projects that will get created, the SLPRG, which contains some internal matrix file. That's a data file. I have to investigate what these are, but right now I don't really care about that. But here's the source code that's generated. Again, there's some mat files that are generated. It looks like these are required. There's C++, there's a header file. The cool thing is there's some also HTML that's generated to help you show you how, basically the report I just showed you, which is here, cogeneration report. This guy right here, I think this HTML is pretty well that in a nutshell. But the cool part is, look at this, MVC. We can now compile our we've got a new Visual Studio project that seems to work. So this will automatically build, and then it will automatically load up your Visual Studio. Now, I don't know what the target is. Let me just hang on here. I'm not sure. It says Cogeneration. Here it says solution file. I think there's an option somewhere I've seen that what kind of Visual Studio you're working with. I thought I put Visual Studio 2013, which this is. This is version, oh boy, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Here we go. So it's Visual 2013 Ultimate, and that works. So this gets automatically loaded, created when you do the Cogeneration. But the thing is, you will need to upgrade the project. You will get a message saying, because it's got compiled, it looks like, from 2010. I don't know, maybe it's done internally within Visual Matlab, or I don't know, I haven't really paid any attention to it. But you do need to upgrade this project to the version of Visual Studio that you were running. Obviously I'm doing 2013. I can upgrade, and voila, guess what? I can rebuild. Woo! That's awesome. And then I'm back to where I'm normally, so I don't have to do any of these wonky things. So this is pretty cool. The code is pretty well no different than before. I did go on about the tracing of the comments, which is very powerful, very useful for me, at least for debugging. This is them here. So here, in this case, we're doing a sum. I know as actual fact that is pointing me back to this guy right here. This is my sum right here. Yep, there you go. So that's the equivalent in C++ from Simulink. And I think you'll probably get some other calls like that from within Simulink. So it's great to be able to have that, but you can't control the comments during the cogeneration process that I showed earlier as part of, where's my cogeneration parameters. So it's somewhere embedded here, the comments that get generated. So all in all, we're looking pretty good. So at least with 2014B, everything seems to be running. Now, you will get a exe file because you are able to build. Just so you know, this exe is pretty well useless as is. As I'll show you, this is the same directory, but when you run the file Simulink 2ds, it'll just say will run forever. There's nothing to it, but I guess as you make the model, the Simulink model, more sophisticated, you have the ability to probably execute model code and then be able to run all the calculations and all that from within this exe. Now, there's some tricks that I'm also learning about this, because obviously these two are where your logic for your algorithm would lie for obviously trading. This is your inflow. Now your inflow, I've shown you in a previous video how you could mock it where it's coming in from a database. I'm speculating it may work. And also the outflow, which is your trading signal, I guess. But because you now have the source code, guess what? You can connect this and drop this C++ code into your trading platform. You could generate a DLL from it. It's limitless. But going back into this model here and here, there are tricks that you can, I've seen through some of the Simulink MathWork guys. They're saying that you can take this, create a wrapper in Matlab, mscript, and a lot of people don't know, but you can call directly Java jar files from within the class path that your Matlab environment would have access to. So essentially, theoretically, what you could do is you could have a wrapper inflow here, and then give it access, this model, have access to that jar file as part of the deployment package, and enabling this model through Matlab M scripting, be able to access any jar file of your choice. Now, where am I leading that to? That could be your data provider, again, IKEFeed, or my case, Oanda, or if you want to go really sophisticated, you could probably embed, for my research, if you're going to go high frequency, maybe you may be able to access jar files from your broker, be it whoever. And same at this end too, you can do the same thing. So that's pretty exciting to be able to do that. Now the HDL side's another question mark, but the only way to find out is by testing it. But at this point, I don't really care about this jar stuff, Java jar stuff. I mean, it's just theory. I want to get a model working, be able to demo it, run it within Simulink, because now I have options to be able to open this up, obviously into C++, for Windows, I guess Visual C++, as you can tell here, which is the model, or I could somehow deploy a Java jar file, question mark still, or because I mentioned this earlier, this model can, there's numerous choices here. This model can be, as I said, where is my, if I just generate code only, generate code, that enables me to generate pure cross-platform C or C++, so that can be then deployed hopefully onto a Linux environment, a Unix environment, or a Mac OS X environment. So a lot of options there. Now if this Java jar file can work as part of this deployment package, now you can also embed Java jar files. Now if that's the case, that's pretty powerful. Now I must also add, through the model itself, in the Simulink model, this is powerful too, because you can access, where is it? Okay, so if you come under here, under, I'm still fairly new to this, so model properties. So here you have callbacks, and here, this is just Matlab scripting, but not sure if you can intermingle your action code, be it Matlab M script, but you could also do, you could also call C as well from within this model. Now that's pretty powerful in itself, because then that must mean that you can probably access static libraries if you're doing this, deploying this on a Linux environment. Maybe you can do that. Let me just try to give you an example here. Where's my library browser here? Okay, so I'll pull out a chart, a state flow chart, just to give you an example here. Give it a second here. Okay, come on, maybe. I gotta tell you, I'm really amazingly surprised by Simulink. I'm glad I went through all the other platforms or tools like R, Python, C#, whatever else, all the retail trading platforms. But to me, this is the most logical, because I've shown you can now generate with C++. But if this jar file works, I mean, that's an incredible. It's just that's just going to blow open so many powerful options in terms of creating self-contained systematic trading models, which in essence is a trading system, trading platform, and it can also, some I won't really say can it be on a performance of high frequency trading, but to be honest, I don't really see why not, because from my research, Simulink is very fast. Like there's actual blocks that you need to be able to slow down the parameters. So let me just pull out that my canvas here. Here we are. So this is what I'm looking for here. So come on, baby. Okay. So let's say if I create a new chart, this is state flow, I can change this to C as well, because right now it's in Matlab. I believe I changed that from my like so much to learn with this. It's powerful. It's really mind bending, but it is powerful. Okay, I'll get used to this one day. Okay, here we are. All right. So I believe I need this guy. I guess somewhere in here you can set the action language for the entire model, and it can be C, C++, sorry, C or MATLAB. And I think MATLAB's beneficial because everything has to comply within the Matlab and Simulink environment. Everything has to comply with how you build it within Simulink, because as you build out new models, what will happen is you're going to start running into data incompatibility. But with Matlab and these advisors that they provide, which I showed earlier, actually this one right here, these advisors really make a difference. Now, the other thing is, because I'm using Matlab 2014, this is new, so that's all new. I don't know what that is. You can see all the new options here. You have upgrade advisor, model advisor dashboard. Oh, this is a new thing. I'm not sure if there's a new thing within Matlab 2014B. They have had major upgrades to Simulink with 2014B. So yeah, there's some. This looks like it's a data inspector. So there's a lot of powerful stuff. This is new as well. Enable fast restart. I have no idea. But so far so good. This 14B is very powerful. I am able to co-generate with a complete out-of-box Visual Studio solution, which is really cool. I've never done it in Linux. I don't dare to. But worst comes to worst, I'm sure. I keep saying there's tricks that you can use for just generating the code itself. So this is an awesome tool. Very, very awesome. But this is where I'm putting my focus in on knowing the deficiencies of languages like R, Python, and not too much C#, but C++. Here I come. And yeah, there will be people that will rip apart the efficiency of the code. I've kind of gone through it. It's not too bad. It's not like bloated, but there is options somewhere in here you can minimize the code as well. But I'm just all about right now comments with those tracebacks capabilities, as I showed earlier. Okay, so there you go. Everything's up to date with Simulink, Cogeneration as well. I'm sure there will be a heavy interest in the HDL for FPGA as well. But for now, I'm just going to stick it with C++ or C. All right, hopefully this will help you out, and wish me luck on creating a couple of models and strategies for Simulink here. It's quite the hill to climb. Talk to you later.